What's good, YouTube? And welcome to Nature Healing Just a Sliver as Fiendsmith Engraver comes down from those $145 plus FOMO hype prices to $117. This gives me just a sliver of hope that this will be under a triple-digit card. My initial estimates were $72 to $80 opening week, and after that hype train and the absurd amounts, now I am hoping that it could fall towards 82 to 95, more towards the 95 most likely. But look how many people are wanting that top piece of info pie. 27 listings and people willing to compete here and go in. I did see Duelist biting, going, okay, 150 at venue last, couple days, and saying, sure, I'll take it. And the slope is so downward right now versus that hype train that it feels reasonable where it's headed. However, if you're going to the venue, probably not as reasonable. MBT saying, okay, realizing it may be harder to just find Fiendsmiths at the venue than I thought. Obviously, my first priority is purchasing from vendors, but God forbid if they run out, anyone at the NAWCQ have 3 Fiendsmith and a tracked for trade, right? Like, because you don't want to make a post that ends up having Konami go, and he is careful with his wording. I feel like when it comes down to it though, yeah, I don't envy anybody in the room hunting the deck, and that is the options you're probably left with unless you got lucky and somebody got cases in today, busted them by you, and were like, yeah, I'll do this much for Engraver, or I'll go ahead and hook you up and let him use them. That's the dream, right? Ask a friend, Trident Dragion. Also, the only card with more listings, I think, right now is, the Molcharmy, which, again, has the other Molcharmy outshining it and out-hyping it. So the reasons why I think this could be under triple digits very soon, hopefully, though, is you have Banlist Fears looming ahead late August, and actual hits that could matter against the deck people are bringing up, like Beatrice maybe finally getting banned. So with Banlist Speculation able to run wild, and the engine going from all-powerful to an option, maybe there's a route to that, but again, it's still going to be the deck to beat. We have no off-season actually after the WCQ, so we're straight back into regionals and people competing, but a lot of people also choosing to voice that they will be boycotting that little bit of a season, taking a break and waiting to see the list. So this will be one to watch, but right now, a positive direction and movement, even if it's not where we want to see. We've seen a lot of top meta contenders from all the ages be $120, but not under the new booster model. Also, I talked to Tier 0. They've started busting and fulfilling, trying to get ready to fulfill the pre-sales, and they said most of their boxes did not have an issue missing a secret, so that's super good news for EU boxes. They said here and there, we would see it happen and it would actually even out on top of it. So that's really good news for EU boxes versus the initial fear of what was happening to the set there. There's another interesting card in here, however, that I want to talk about. Let's go ahead and find it among the listings. Dragon of Pride and Soul, because Gamer's Choice did not sell out of this in pre-sale, and somebody in the Discord was asking me, what do I think about this card? It's actually way more expensive in the OCG, and I do recall that the OCG Duelist came in and bought out our 10,000 dragons, and that's what spiked it initially to 2K in the US, then it floated back down to 15, then 12.5, and now it's at 800. It's never really regained that traction, but it was the OCG initially spiking it. This card is, for all intents and purposes, Blue Eyes White Dragon, but the problem is, it is not by name Blue Eyes White Dragon, nor by attack stat, or by effect in any way, shape, or form. It's just a cute quarter-century effect where it's not really that notable. And we don't know if there will be another version of it, or if the Rage of the Abyss, the Rota set, will end up having it in a different color. We do know 24 of these cards are also available as quarter-century secret rare, and one special card is only available as quarter-century secret rare. Now, I think they might actually leave this as a one-off and make it kind of that collectible card where it is a Blue Eyes card, but it isn't, and the ceiling could be higher than where it's at now, but I think for the immediate, all the attention's going to be drawn to the metagame and the meta cards in this set, and I don't necessarily see it skyrocketing unless the OCG players do come in, but not a financial advisor, you never know what a couple of motivated people could do and come together and do to a card on the market that's only in 25th, and a lot of people don't even have it on their radar that this card in the set is only 25th, and they're continuing to do that, right? Like with Dragon Master Magia, the main consensus now is they're gonna reprint it, right? But Konami seems so motivated to keep some 25th only cards here that Dragon Master Magia being introduced this way, even with a structure deck on the horizon, they could, but I certainly hope for a reprint long before the 30th for everybody's sake, especially with that deck. But this starts to make me think this might be, you know, it's still, you're gambling. You're huge gambling on saying it won't get a reprint, but it makes me think Konami might want to keep it that way for a very long time, even with the structure deck coming. I really hope we get an easy access version or something like Bonanza and not in 25th, and they try to pat themselves like they're the hero. We've seen that time and time again. But right now, a lot of people don't have that faith, and it's coming back down in price slowly. Now, under 550 where we showed it last time, and now a lot of people lining up at 533 going, I'm not taking that risk long term, and trying to get it sold as the lowest listing. So it's very interesting where Konami's mind is with these things and where they will be in the future with them. Summoning Curse is up. This is for the Mimic archetype as a tech and only has 2 printings as commons. Wow, I haven't talked about this card in a long time. It feels like it has a lot of overhyped history instead of actual introduction into the competitive game. And here we go again with people going really hard only in Duelist Revolution and OTS Pack 1. For the 25th anniversary collection, a lot of prices are down, and I want to say that I know I really like the set long term, and again, was very quick to say it would fail in the immediate. There are some cards in here where if we are in a tier 0 format, they're going to consistently shine. Crossout Designator I've brought up multiple times, and it is slowly going up now. You can see it was down towards 35, then 37, and now it's back up towards 40 lowest with 1 listing there. You can't get a playset of them and not hit the 40 pluses, and it goes towards 45 on the front page. So there is some traction in terms of cards disappearing because people don't want to rip this open despite how cheap it is, because on average you're probably taking a loss versus this, or everyone would be busting it open. But I do believe going for the singles is probably the smarter long-term gains, because like if you're looking at specifics and they pan out well versus the sealed being the general bet, then those specifics, people aren't going to be cracking booster packs after them. We've seen this with high-end collector rares and, you know, situations like this in a sense, although Rarity Collection is its own beast. And I want to say that I think certain singles in here will do very well in the future versus where they're at now. The only other upward motion really on this entire front page seems to be Magician's Souls, which I do think was underestimated at first to a good degree. It's towards $20 and quickly goes towards $22. The rest of the set's falling out, and that brings me to my next point, is that it's really nice how this set info is clearing the way on so many different sets and cards to come down in price for the most part. And sealed is actually doing better than I thought. I actually clicked Jet Synchron out of curiosity. It's fallen down in half, $28. I remember so many people hyped for it to be out. And I do know, again, Rarity Collection is kind of the curse on Collector Rare, where people don't want to pick up Collector Rare anymore just in case it's printed somewhere else within there, right? But that's an interesting one to fall off that badly. And then look at this, Phantom Nightmare, over $100 a box with upward traction right now, despite not a lot to be pulled. So all the cards are cheaper, but the sealed is more. It's nice to see sealed actually take this direction. Age of Overlord towards 200. I remember Tier 0 just had this on their sale for, I want to say, like $125 a box. Look at all these sales at $180 and now towards $200, with $200-ish being the lowest. But again, the inside of the set, a lot of it about to be reprinted, and all of it downward in price for the most part. This It's very nice to see. Diabellstar is named as a reprint, if I recall, for Bonanza as well. But I wanted to kind of point out, sealed hasn't been going this way overall. Photon Hypernova's more recently up towards 70, but it was struggling despite its meta relevance for having it had its value slurped out and reprinted and all that sort of stuff. It's now actually on the recovery, so it seems like people are beginning to like sealed again, even when the value's not inside to back it, and a lot of sealed product is starting to go up in price and out of the market. So that's a cool trend that people can go buy the cards they want cheaper, but the sealed product, to a degree, for a lot of different sets and core sets, are recovering like this and doing well, including the world premiere Maze of Millennia, despite reprints on the horizon for this set. I want to say, again, oh, he said higher price, and I want lower price. That's bad. You're gambling when you're going with sealed. If you're getting it to bust open and feel good, it's an experience, it's cool, but the singles going cheaper while the sealed goes up is an interesting phenomenon that we haven't seen in a while, and it's actually a cool market equilibrium to discover happening once again. Dark Fusion Ultra Rare is up in price, bought all the way out towards $14, with people even spending $15, and I think people forgot the Secret Rare buyout happened and it came back down. Maybe that was to fully push the buyout, but you could have got the Secret for cheaper than the Ultra. I guess it says Speed Duel, which bugs some people, but the quality is usually chef's kiss. Elemental Hero Absolute Zero, I noticed the Secret Rare is creeping back up consistently. It goes back to the products that fail and are cheap and people don't want to open them like Rarity 2 in this. The value's just not there to bust, and it doesn't take off is the problem when it isn't hot at first, unlike the other sets where we showed. So yeah, I would say that it's interesting to see this start to go towards being maybe the top card as that Utopia falls off. But you might want to get your version of Absolute Zero you want sooner than later using that TCG player link in the description down below, costing you nothing extra to support the channel directly for the cards you'd already be buying. It could get a 25th or a printing, I suppose, in Bonanza or somewhere, but I really do like this card for Edison. It seems like they're interested in keeping Time Wizard format cards a little bit expensive so they can go back in again, like short printing the Substitute, but this is a very nice version and very good looking version of this card, and with only 69 listings here versus 29 of the Ultra from Battles of Legend Heroes Revenge, which that's like a $10 pack in a very expensive box with no value in it at this point. I would probably just go towards the Secret Rare personally, but yeah, all these, even the common, are really up / the quantities are still low, so you might want to get your copy if you've been dragging your heels. Mulan Glacia has been consistently going up. Remember, Mermail Atlantean's eventually going to get that new support, and first edition is back towards 20. Honestly, I didn't know this had been all the way down towards 12, but it's crept up $7 over the last 3 months. Thanks for watching today's Market Watch. Only thing I really have to add at the end here is A, my birthday's Friday, so that's gonna be fun. B, Prime Day's been going on. I don't do affiliate marketing with them or anything, but a lot of physical media deals are out there that are pretty solid, and they finally put all the Scooby-Doo stuff in HD, so that's gonna be fun for Halloween. All the old movies to the newer relative ones with Scooby-Doo, such as Witches Go, Zombie Island, but also the classics like Boo Brothers. So some fun stuff going on there if you were a Scooby-Doo kid or want to introduce your kids to Scooby-Doo. I know my target audience. Thanks for watching, everybody.